Ann and I decided to do our research project on bad driving behaviors and the social psychology behind them.
So we decided to pick a somewhat busy area. So we chose the intersection in the center of Oxford where Sutton Ave and Main Street cross. And that is a very busy intersection that I know of anyway. And we were watching to see how many people would either run the red light or do a no turn on red no right on red. And oddly enough, we even had a couple of lefts on red.
So our research design was just on a piece of paper. We wrote the day of the week, what time we observed, and the weather of when we observed. We observed 3 times for 25 minutes. So me and Anne both had a counter on our phones, so every time a car would go through the intersection, we would count it as one. Then we wrote down the number of cars that went through the
Red light.
light. Yeah, the total number of cars that went through on the light. Then we counted the cars that ran through a red light and then the cars that turned on a no turn on red sign. And our hypothesis was that bad driving behaviors of running a red light or turning on a no turn on red sign is more likely to happen after work during rush hour compared to any other time throughout the day.
So, as you can see by the charts, our observation results, I say a lot, sorry. On the first day that we did it, 6 cars ran the red light out of a total of 117 cars that went through, and nobody turned on the no turn on red side. Observation day 2, we did during rush hour. 10 cars out of the 154 that went through the light ran the red light, and 4 of the cars turned on the no turn on red sign.
And then for our third and final observation, we did it in the morning since the first one was at 1 and then the second one was at rush hour. We did one in the morning, and only 3 cars ran through the red light and then 0 turned on the no turn on red. And there was not many cars that went through the red light at this time. So out of all of our data, there was a total of 400 cars, and 19 of them ran through the red light, and then 4 of them ran on the no turn on red sign. So 4.75% ran through the red light, and then 1% turned on the red sign.
We also noticed that the majority of the vehicles that ran the red light were actually sedans. I thought it was going to be the opposite. I thought it was going to be someone in a truck that did it. Because a lot of times, you see the big trucks that obviously they can't stop. So they're going to go, whether they're supposed to or not. So it surprised me that it was cars. Oddly, the no turn on red, the turning on there, doesn't surprise me that the sedans were higher because they figure they can get away with it because they're tiny and they can get by. The pickup trucks, or just trucks in general, it was on the low side for both of them, which, like I said, I was actually surprised because I thought more people in trucks because, they're bigger and figure they can do whatever they want. And have that mentality of having, I have a big vehicle, I can get through this. So, I was wrong.
Some social psychology concepts behind bad driving behaviors is aggression. So we studied like being impatient and having a short temper causes people to be more aggressive and
road rage.
Yeah, road rage. That was linked to no turn on red or running a red light, just because some people just want to go home after work and.
Or they're just not paying attention.
Yeah. Then availability heuristics has a lot to do with, can be related to red light running, because people think that they can just get away with it. Then overconfidence, we studied that in social psych. People think that they can make it through the red light or like the yellow light when it's turning red, when really they made the red light. And then destructive obedience is when others follow other people's actions. So we noticed that when one car turned on the no turn on red sign or ran through the red light, then the car behind them also did it. So we use that as an example of destructive obedience, because they were following the bad behavior that the person in front of them was doing.
So, in conclusion, our hypothesis was correct. 5.73%, kind of a decent-sized number considering what we were looking at. 23 out of 400 cars, which, I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it actually is when you look at the whole picture. But 23 drivers are horrible drivers. In my opinion, you run a red light, you do something like that, you're not showing, or even having like a kid in the car, your kids in the car, you're not showing them the correct way to do these things. So you're influencing more bad drivers.
Yeah, I also think it's kind of significant since we only observed for like 3 25-minute intervals. Like 25 minutes isn't a long time,
and we actually had a lot go through. Which, you know, like I said, it surprised me, but it didn't. I'm just surprised at how many people there are in a short amount of time in one particular area that practice these habits. And I'm sure they do it all the time. It wasn't just probably this one day. I'm sure this is their, oh, hey, look, the light's yellow, I gotta hurry up. The ones that took the left, I'm boggled by. Because that's a horrible intersection. And why you would try and take a left on red is absolutely beyond me.
But I think that if we did this experiment in like Boston or a really busy city, we would get more like concrete results.
Definitely. It would have been a larger scale, and it would have taken us months to just even calculate any kind of data for it.
Yeah.
So that would be a big no.
Okay. And that's it.